let's take this idea of regular everyday chaos as our jumping off point. How do we find some sort of peace, some stable point within our new normal that isn't normal at all? And maybe because we've got some folks who are a little bit newer, we'll try and work on a little bit of the basics in terms of posture, making sure things are a little bit relaxed, how to focus on breathing. This is just for newer folks. I'm coming from a Buddhist background, fairly traditional Zen. And so there's a lot of emphasis on body posture and breathing. And like Ben was saying, not so much on sort of where do you go, but we can come at it from different directions. So I'll throw out some suggestions. If others want to add to that, let's go for it. We'll just talk for a couple minutes and then I'll ring the bell and we'll start at 20 minutes. I'm looking out onto the little terrace that we have here with huge mounds of snow that, as we know, over the next couple days will slowly kind of deflate, get lopsided, start getting gray with dirt and dust settling on them. It looks great now. Maybe it won't look so good in a couple days. And if you've ever seen when you've left like a flower pot or some object out in the snow, or if you've tossed or seen something sort of on top of a pile of snow, you know that as the snow pile begins to melt, it leans one way or another way, it sort of tips over, but it's always kind of following gravity and sinking down in the middle of the pile. So let's think about that. Being in a pile of wet, melting snow is nobody's idea of comfort. It's not something we would voluntarily do, but maybe that's not a bad metaphor for having to adapt to things that are kind of tilting us one way or another. And we get settled and then something happens and it tilts in a different direction. Or things are looking pretty nice right now, but dust and dirt accumulate, and what was going well, something throws that out of whack. We can stress about it. We can get angry about it. We can retreat or get sad about it. These are all normal human reactions. And I'm not saying, get rid of all that, throw that all away. Sure, that'd be great if we can do it. But instead, maybe in this sit, just kind of imagine yourself as just a flower pot. You're just stuck in the snow, right? So when a heavy object is in the snow, it just kind of finds its point of rest. Depending on your posture, if you're sitting in a chair or sitting on a cushion, some meditation instructors like to talk about where your tailbone is at and kind of feeling anchored so that you're not hunched over, your shoulders aren't. So we could talk a lot about alignment, but I don't want to get too technical. But think of your tailbone as kind of like that anchor in the snow, or like a little golf divot. You stick that thing in the grass and you put the ball on top, and then it balances until you whack it. So maybe your snow is wet and it's making you uncomfortable. Maybe your snow is getting a little gross and you'd like to shake it off. Maybe there's some part of the snow that you can look at and say, it's kind of messy and dirty, but the sun's shining on it and it's beautiful. So in the middle of the messiness and the drippiness, we can still find some beauty, some harmony. So breathe in, breathe out, plant yourself. Let the breath go in and out. You'll find your thoughts wandering off. And when they do, we don't beat ourselves up. We don't, uh, get angry. We just go back to breathing. One breath in, one breath out. Some people like counting their breaths. Other people just enjoy the sensation of just feeling the breath go out and feeling it come back in. It can be nice just resting in the snow for a little bit. So let's give it a shot. Find that balance, find that resting point. Let things drip. Let them get messy and off balance. We're just sitting here.